Over the past year, I've been training to become a Special Constable for Northants Police. And in May of 2017, I was officially attested into the organisation, giving me the same powers as a regular paid officer. However, last week, I sent in my resignation. So guys, I've kept this quiet for a long time, and I finally feel that now is a good time to finally explain to you my police recruitment story and the reason that I resigned so early on in the process. I want to start by saying, first of all, this video isn't meant to demise the role which police play in society in any way. These are all my own views and personal experiences. Also, the stages of recruitment which I'm going to be describing may differ from force to force. So, as some of you know from my previous videos, last year I started at university. What some of you didn't know is that I was actually studying a police degree, and alongside this my lecturers strongly recommended that we join the Special Constabulary, which is a part-time organisation. It's unpaid, where you go out and do exactly the same job as a regular officer and basically deal with whatever may be thrown at you. The reason I initially chose this degree is because I had a choice, and that choice was between media or policing. I eventually decided to go down the policing route for a variety of reasons, and I won't get into that right now. So the application process for the police was pretty rigorous. It first involved a paper application form which you fill in online, which involved a variety of competency questions, which basically are there to show that you are, well, competent. And that's quite a long application. You've got to put on your background history and things like that, family members, everything. Or, you know, they want all of your details basically. And then after that stage, I was invited to an interview with 2 regular officers. And in my case, it was absolutely terrifying because these 2 regular officers consisted of a PC and an inspector, and they basically gave me a series of scenarios, and these scenarios consist of things mainly like you've just seen someone break into someone's house, or you've just seen someone litter, what do you do, that sort of thing. And this interview, from what I can remember, lasts around 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, but it just went like that. It was pretty terrifying, and I didn't think I'd actually pass it, to be honest. Once passing that, I moved on to the next stage, which was the assessment centre. This was around December time, and this lasts for a few hours of the day, and it consists of a fitness test, which is literally just a simple bleep test. I think it's 5.4 or higher you need to get to pass that. There's also a group activity where they get you and a load of other training special constables in a room together. They give you a scenario, and as a group you have to be able to basically work together to figure it out. There's also, from what I can remember, a drugs test and a load of other samples like fingerprints and mouth swabs. Up to this point, the process has taken round about 3 to 4 months. Once you've passed the assessment centre, there's a wait of about 2 months, and then my training began. I had just under a month of training, which was 5 days a week, 9 hours a day. And it mainly consisted of a lot of kind of physical based training. Because the legislation was all covered at the university, it meant that we had to have basically less training with the organisation, because the university were covering all of the legislation side of things. So we covered takedown procedures, handcuffing, defence against knife attacks, verbal communication, baton training, parva training, which is the pepper spray, first aid, and probably a hell of a lot more that I've missed out. And before you ask, no, I did not volunteer myself to get pepper sprayed. I could have done, and a load of people did, but to be honest, I don't know why in the right mind you'd volunteer to get pepper sprayed in the face. Just a personal opinion, really. Then after a few weeks of passing my training, I was finally attested into the police. I'm not gonna lie, this was a very emotional moment, actually becoming a police officer. You know, ever since I was a kid, I've always fancied going into the police, and you know, a few months ago it finally happened. I finally had that opportunity. So that's all the basics of the last year, all laid out for you. Now, what I didn't tell you is that throughout my training, I wasn't exactly happy. This is literally because of YouTube and social media. I actually found myself to be more focused on this YouTube channel than anything else at the time. And if you didn't already know, the media and the police do not go hand in hand. And this meant having to keep my web presence on here a complete secret to the police. It also meant having to keep the fact that I was completing my police training a secret to you guys. If I was to say what I am saying to you guys now and I was still in the police, I would have been more than likely told to delete the content, and in even worse circumstances I could have actually been kicked out of the organisation itself. So you can see my difficulties. And not only that, but there is also a certain sort of mentality in the police. Despite all being lovely people, I just never felt that I fitted in to that crowd very well. So I eventually came to the conclusion that there's no point carrying on with something that my heart isn't truly set on. So last week I handed in my warrant card and my uniform and I resigned. What I truly enjoy doing, and what I've always enjoyed doing since I started this channel way back in 2011, is creating, editing and filming short movies and videos. I get a real kick when I make a really solid video, and I get an even greater kick when I'm able to showcase these videos to you. So hopefully, if everything goes to plan, in this upcoming academic year I will be going back to Northampton to study a different course based around this and media. And I'll be continuing to record my explorations, stories and vlogs onto this channel for you. So that, guys, is my story, and I hope you found it interesting. Again, this is just my personal experience and we are all different as humans. But the one thing that I'd want you to take away from this video in particular is that it's never too late to change direction and just follow your dreams. So thank you for watching, everyone. If you have any comments, feel free to post them down below and I'll try and respond to as many as I can. And this is until next time, guys, stay dauntless.